officials spoke to reporters after two people, a pilot and a co-pilot, were killed in a crash on the tarmac at the LaGuardia airport. The incident sent dozens of people to the hospital and is impacting travel across the country this morning. Our Rob Hackford has been covering the story for us all morning long and joined us live in the newsroom with more. Rob?
Yeah, Melissa, I've been going through countless minutes and hours worth of air traffic control audio trying to get the remarks from this crash on the air here. It's taking a bit longer than I would have liked, but this regional Air Canada jet flown by Jazz Aviation out of Montreal was touching down at LaGuardia when it hit an aircraft rescue fire truck that was crossing the runway. On that audio, we've heard that they had permission to cross the runway and were told to stop on multiple occasions. But leading up to that, there's a lot to uncover here. The nose of the plane, as you can see there, was completely destroyed in the crash, which happened just before midnight Sunday. The pilot and co-pilot are the only two casualties at this time. 41 people, including passengers, crew, and firefighters, were taken to the hospital. Some with serious injuries. The Port Authority didn't provide much detail on those injuries, but 32, they said, have been released.
We went down for a regular landing. We came in pretty hard. We immediately hit something, and it was just chaos from there. About 5 seconds later, we had come to a stop, but in that short period, I mean, everybody was hunkered down and everybody was screaming. Pretty quickly, we didn't have any directions because the pilot's cabin had been kind of destroyed, so somebody said, let's get the emergency exit and get the door in, let's all jump out, and that's exactly what we did.
Sadly, the two pilots are confirmed deceased, and notifications are being made by Air Canada's care team at this time. It is anticipated that the airport will be closed at least until 2 p.m. this afternoon to facilitate the investigation by NTSB, which has already begun.
Now, the Port Authority Executive Director says the fire truck was responding to an unrelated report of an odor on a different flight. And as I mentioned, we've been working to get the air traffic control audio on the air for you, indicating that the truck received permission to cross the runway before another air traffic controller tells it to stop. Several times you hear stop, truck one, stop, but it was too late. The identities of the two pilots have not been released. My colleague Natalie Foss is at the Buffalo airport this morning with more on the impacts locally, including those from the federal government shutdown. Hey, Natalie.
Well, as spring break ramps down for UB students, they head back to classes today. It's just starting for students at Buff State as well as at the UB Jacobs School of Medicine, and all sorts of delays, things happening at the airport could cause headaches for those students heading out on spring break. Now here at the Buffalo airport, it's pretty business as normal. Historically, the Buffalo airport doesn't tend to see any of those big issues and delays with TSA. However, at airports around the country like Atlanta and Houston, wait times have reached over 2 hours over the weekend. ICE agents are now being sent into those busier airports like Atlanta to help, since more than 400 TSA officers have quit and many are calling out sick due to going over a month without pay. One union leader for TSA agents was taken back by this news and defends his colleagues for quitting or calling out sick.
Absolute shock, because that is just the most ridiculous thing I've heard yet out of this. At the end, if I can't put food in my stomach, I can't keep a roof over my head. The people that I'm supposed to be taking care of are failing me.
The Department of Homeland Security says that they'll be specifically helping with tasks that don't require specialized training, like crowd and line management. I've reached out to TSA to see if ICE agents here in Buffalo will be working with them. I haven't heard back on that just yet. Now, again, historically, the Buffalo airport does not see those big lines. Right now, as you can see behind me, TSA is almost completely empty. So definitely not something you might have to worry about here in Buffalo, but regardless, they do request that you show up about 90 minutes before your flight just to make sure that you don't have any issues, especially when you're checking in your bags. But if you are going through one of those major hub airports, especially like Atlanta, Houston, you're going to want to give yourself about 3 hours time before your flight goes, just to get yourself through security and make sure you don't miss that flight. On your side at the Buffalo Niagara International Airport, Natalie Foss, Channel 2 News.